Wednesday, May 8. Love at the right time. Question, read Song of Solomon 4:8 to 5:1. We read that yesterday, so we'll leave that for the moment, but it says Song of Solomon 4:16 and 5:1 form the very centre of this book and describe, as it were, its climax as the marriage between Solomon and the Shulamite is consummated. Question, to what is Solomon referring in the following passages? Song of Solomon 4, verse 12, a garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. And verse 16, awake, O north wind, and come, O south, blow upon my garden, that its spices may flow out. Let my beloved come to his garden, and eat its pleasant fruits. And chapter 5 and verse 1, I have come to my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yes, drink deeply, O beloved ones. And chapter 8, verses 8 to 10. We have a little sister, and she has no breasts. What shall we do for our sister in the day when she is spoken for? If she is a wall, we will build upon her a battlement of silver, and if she is a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. I am a wall, and my breasts like towers. Then I became in his eyes as one who found peace. In the Song of Solomon we find some of Scripture's most compelling evidence for God's plan that people remain sexually chaste until marriage. One of the most powerful is a reference to the Shulamite's childhood, when her brothers wondered whether she would be a wall or a door, in verses 8 and 9, which we have just read. In other words, will she remain chaste until marriage, a wall, or be promiscuous, a door? As an adult woman, she affirms that she has maintained her chastity and comes pure to her husband. I am a wall, we read in verse 10. In fact, she confirms that she is still a virgin up to their wedding night by saying that she is a garden enclosed, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed in Solomon 4 and verse 12. From her own experience, she can counsel her friends to take the steps of love and marriage very carefully. 3 times in the Song of Solomon, the Shulamite addresses a group of women referred to as the daughters of Jerusalem, to counsel them not to arouse the intense passion of love until the appropriate time. And we read that in Song of Solomon 2:7, I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. And Song of Solomon 3:5, I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. And in chapter 8 and verse 4, I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. That is, until they find themselves safely within the intimate covenant of marriage, as she is. For the second time in the poem, the beloved invites his bride to come away with him. And we read that in Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10. My beloved spoke and said to me, rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. And chapter 4, verse 8, come with me from Lebanon, my spouse, with me from Lebanon. Look from the top of Amana, from the top of Sinir and Hermon, from the lions' dens, from the mountains of the leopards. Before the wedding, she could not accept his invitation, but now it is she who invites him to her garden. In Song of Solomon 4:16, awake, O north wind, and come, O south, blow upon my garden, that its spices may flow out. Let my beloved come to his garden, and eat its pleasant fruits. And he gladly accepts in Song of Solomon 5 verse 1, I have come to my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. He is not just attracted to her beauty, she has stolen his heart, as we read in chapter 4, verse 9. You have ravished my heart, my sister, my spouse. You have ravished my heart with one look of your eyes, with one link of your necklace. He is intoxicated with her love in verse 10. How fair is your love, my sister, my spouse. How much better than wine is your love, and the scent of your perfumes than all spices. And he is exuberant that she is his and nobody else's now and forever, as he says in verse 12, my bride, my very own, you are a garden, a fountain closed off to all others. In his union to this perfect woman, he finds himself as reaching the promised land in verse 11. Your lips are a honeycomb, milk and honey flow from your tongue. And so to finish today, what good news is there for individuals who regret their wrong choices in the expression of their sexuality? 1 John 1:9, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. And Psalm 103 and verse 12, as far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us. And Isaiah 55 verse 7, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, and he will have mercy on him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. And John chapter 8 and verse 11. She says, no one, Lord. And Jesus said to her, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.